There we go. Hey, Paul, hey, Natalie. Hopefully, Sutty made it. I don't know. I did tell him 1 o'clock. But as you are going to hear very, very soon, there's a mad number of bloody builders and shit going on right now. Like a few of the flats near me are being redone. And it's just chaos. It's absolutely chaos. Natalie's saying it'd be worth the wait if it was Hayden. Yeah, maybe. Oh, if only you knew. If only you knew. I'm going to tell you a secret about Hayden. He's a socialist. Yeah. Anyway, I got some great things here, man. Woke adverts. I love woke adverts. They get hated on the left and the right. The left are like, how dare you? You know, all that, like, shut up brand and all that. You get the Guardian here going, oh, what you doing here? Do you remember this one, the Kendall Jenner one, where she hands the coke to the police officer? There you go. And world peace is achieved. Obviously, that was mocked phenomenally. Look at that, Martin Luther King's daughter. I don't mean to be rude, but what does she do exactly? I don't know. You know, if you're going to go to someone, I don't know. Don't be asking my daughter about me, man. She don't know shit about me. Black Amexes matter. Oh, it's all shite and it doesn't work. But they did try it. They kept trying, didn't they, eh? They did Gillette. Do you remember this Gillette advert? Look at all these terrible men, eh? Barbecuing their shitty little, none of them are even doing burgers, are they? Half of them, that just looks like garlic, doesn't it? Oh, shitty men. Just looking on at the fight, aren't they, eh? Look at that. Oh, she's telling us how terrible men are. Awful men. This didn't work either, by the way. Didn't work at all. Absolute fail. In fact, P&G that owns Gillette have been doing really, really well as a company. Really well. Apart from Gillette. Gillette is the one part of the company that is tanking. Is it because of this woke bollocks? Is it because for some reason you all think that Dollar Shave Club is an independent company and not owned by one of the big six? Which it is, by the way. You all see that Dollar Shave Club advert and you're like, it makes it sound like it's just some guy who built it in his garage, doesn't it? No, look up who owns Dollar Shave Club. I'll give you a clue. It's not Gillette. It's the other one, Wilkinson Sword. But yeah, Gillette, that didn't work. But then something glorious happened. Something amazing. They worked out the secret. Completely and totally remove the brand. And that's what Sprite have just done. They put out this video. Do you ever see this video? Oh, it's awful. Absolute shite. In fact, I'm going to mute it because fuck that. As a lot of people have pointed out, there's nothing to do with Sprite in this advert. Nothing. Do you think the far left mind? I mean, oh my God. It's so funny, isn't it, when they talk about normalising things? And it's like, this is a really dangerous, damaging thing. You know, to be sort of glorifying it like this. I'm not saying it's right or wrong one way or the other, but it's interesting, isn't it, how we have different rules for certain things. You know, someone can get expelled for school for doing that, you know, but because of the implications, because of the stereotypes, because of the messages, and it's like, oh, wait a minute. So they put out this advert, and it's loads of people preparing for a Pride festival, and look at all the parents. They're all happy, aren't they, eh? They're all like, hey, bless. Look at you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Now, I've barely seen anyone on the left say anything about this. This isn't on their radar. Do you know why? Because this is the shit that they take in every day. This is normal. This isn't even a thing for them. This is literally all the media they consume. They read Vox. They read Verge. They read Polygon. This is all they get. Is this like, yes? And I'll be honest, my only criticism of it, because everyone says they hate adverts and marketeers and all that, but that's just because the vast majority of adverts aren't for you. You see one that's for you and you're like, oh, look at that. That's amazing. Suddenly you don't mind. And it's the same for everyone. I don't mind this. I don't give a shit, really. I think my only criticism of it is that all the LGBT people are very, very queer looking. None of them look like this fella here. None of them just look kind of normative or heteronormative, as they would say, which to me is kind of a little bit offensive. I know plenty of gay people that aren't walking around like, hi, like dressed all ambiguous and all like just a little bit of eyeshadow on one eye, and you're like, what are you? I'm so queer. Get used to it. They're not all like that. In fact, the vast majority of them aren't like that. I've known some gay people for a long time, and I did not know they were gay at all. I didn't ask. I don't care. I don't give a shit. And nothing changed once I found out they were. So this whole like pride thing is like, well, why do none of them just look kind of like just normal, like him, like normal people? They all look a bit funky and a bit weird, and it's kind of odd, that, isn't it? It's like putting pressure on you to segregate, which is the one thing about this advert that I don't like. If you want to make something like this, whatever, don't care. But it's that creeping segregation that we're getting on the left right now that they deny, obviously, but it's there. It's saying mark yourself as different, that's why you have all this language to mark yourself as one of the tribe, one of the others, and so that you can identify people who do not agree. That's why you get guys as bold as me with beards like mine with he him in their profile. It's not because it's so they're identifying, they're forced to do it, quite literally, actually. There's all these memes about like, oh, well, now we know who the arseholes are because they won't do it. And if you go to conferences, you've got to write it on your badge, and it's like, oh, well, we'll know who the dickheads are that don't do it. And it's like, fuck off, all of you. It's all part of the language, and I don't like that, man. You want to be all about equal, fair enough, whatever. But here's my favourite thing about this advert. They have cracked the code, right? Because the only time it mentions Sprite, you're not alone, is right at the end. Sprite, ding. Sprite paid for this. That's the end. Sprite. Hey, and because of that, the left aren't going mental. The left aren't doing their thing. But you know who is going fucking mental? The right. And it's made me so happy watching conservatives, particularly American conservatives, lose their fucking mind over this. Is this Yeshua? This is a Sprite commercial. Repeat, soda. In the end it says blah, 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 blah. There's no freedom without Christ, blah, blah, blah. Well done, guys. You cracked the code. Coca-Cola, big evil corporation that you are. You paid a lot of very canny people a lot of money to finally do it, to finally crack the code and spend very little money knowing full well, look at that, 1.6 million views, knowing full well that lots of angry people, Sprite is now officially banned from our house. You made it go viral. I've seen one person when I searched this. There we go. There we go.
The title of this video and you.
Oh, here's Lauren Chen. Why it's just bad marketing. It's not, Lauren. You're wrong. It is not bad marketing. It is phenomenal marketing. You, Lauren Chen, have devoted a thing just today on it. I'm talking about it today as well. And here we go. I just love it. I just saw the Sprite commercial of all the perverted ads and promotions we've been assaulted with lately. This is by far the worst. They're playing you. They're playing both sides to sell what I would call lemonade. Do you know how disappointing it is when you go to America and you buy lemonade and they go and make actual lemonade with actual lemons? As a Brit, you just sat there like, just drinking it like, oh, that's tart. It's not very good. Farley said Sprite is for gay people. Don't drink Sprite. They don't give a fuck, man. Because they know that you'll just drink Coke instead, which is just the same thing, but a different colour. They don't give a fuck. They know you're going to keep doing it. And they know that people are going to be going Sprite, 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 Sprite. And eventually you'll forget and you won't care. That's it. Paula said forced to do it or doing it to virtue signal. That's my take. When I see a bearded bloke with he, him, his in his profile, I think C-U-N-T. Am I wrong? No, you're not. They are a C-U-N-T. They are a weak person. They are doing it because they've been told they need to normalise it for people who are coming out as they, them. The whole thing's a joke. It's a con. It is coercion. Paul said, you're so hateful, Graham. I'm not hateful at all. What are you talking about? I got a lot of love, man. What are you talking about? I'm full of... No. This all of this comes from love. How dare you? How dare all of you? I just think it's a bit funny that Conservatives got played as blatantly as they have done. I think it's amazing. Speaking of which, actually, I was talking about the English Conservatives. If we just jump back over this side of the pond for a minute, there's another one here that... yeah, you know, Twitter's all about dunking and all the rest of it. We've got here this fella, R.D. Hale. Oh, let's zoom that in a bit, actually. See, you can read along. Like, it's a nice little thing. There we go. Here we go. Tommy Robinson has endorsed Boris Johnson. And that's not exactly true. Someone got him in the street and just said, would you vote for Boris? And he was like, yeah. It's not like... he's not sat down and penned a letter. He's not done a video. He's not launched a website, Tommy for B or Tommy for Bojo or anything like that. I think endorsed is a strong thing, but you know, people are full of shit and politics is politics, isn't it? So back to the tweet. Adding himself to a list that includes Donald Trump. R.D. Hale, mate. Right now, Donald Trump is one of the most fun people on the planet. He's like memeing the shit out of global politics, and it's amazing. So when you say Donald Trump, it might not mean what you think it means. Because I'm thinking, and a lot of people are thinking, I want the guy in power that Trump likes. I want Trump, as overblown as he is, to do a good deal with the UK, to be nice to the UK. Because the American economy is phenomenal. Average household income, $60,000 to $70,000. $60,000 to $70,000. They are fucking rich. Moaning about paying for healthcare. They can fucking afford it. But anyway, yeah. The list that includes Donald Trump. That doesn't mean what you think it means, mate. Vladimir Putin. Oh, here we go. Bolsonaro. Orban and the worst humans on the planet. Didn't learn anything, did you, from Hillary's deplorables statement, from all that. Jeremy Corbyn is endorsed by 129 leading economists, including Nobel laureates. Well, come on, Nobel's fucking corrupt as shit, man. Do you see the difference? I do when you put it like that. Oh, God, it's awful, this shit, innit? Isn't politics just like that? I hate how stupid Labour thinks you are. I really do. Here we go. Well, there's a thing there. That might be quite interesting, actually. Oh, wait. Just as a side note, this has just popped up. It might be cold out. This is Owen, Register to Vote Jones. He says, it might be cold out, but we're fired up by our hope and optimism tonight. My fucking ass. In Harrow East to kick out Bob Blackman, a Tory MP who has shared Tommy Robinson, no, an anti-Muslim propaganda and backs the anti-LGBTQ Section 28. Keep fighting, everyone. Nobody believes this bullshit anymore, dude. Nobody believes it. Nobody cares if people are gay and all the rest of it. Nobody gives a fuck. Jesus Christ. But yeah, the reason I wanted to mention this, and it's gone now, but there's a lot of people saying blah blah blah. There, here we go. Here's the people with a good one. People are asking Boris Johnson why he hasn't rejected Tommy Robinson's endorsement. Well, why would he, man? There's loads of fucking lunatics all over the place. There's fucking communists lining up to put Vote Labour as their profile picture. Nobody's asking Jeremy Corbyn to deny that, are they? To sort of like reject that. Communism killed more people than anyone. Anyone. It's really, really bad. Really bad. There's no difference when someone's got that hammer and sickle in their profile name. They might as well have a swastika. And you know what? Ideal world, I would prefer that everyone just did that, so I know where I stand. But let's be honest about the fucking comparisons here. The Nazis was like kindergarten compared to the fucking communists. The communists were hardcore. The Nazis fought a war, man. The communists, it went on for decades. They could kill millions and millions in just a few years, man. They'd starve tens of millions, man. The communists they just laugh at the fucking Nazis. But everyone's dunking on Tommy Robinson. Oh, look at him, he likes Boris. But what they don't see, because they can't see past the end of their own nose, when they see, Boris and Tommy and Boris, what they don't see is it's people like Tommy Robinson, working class people. They don't ask themselves the question. This was a chance for some of them to reflect, and I'm sure some of the higher ups are doing. The evil fuckers at the top of the Labour Party who know the truth of it, who are happy to just lie to their followers that want to feel clever, because that's what this is all about. It's all about feeling clever, whilst they're dunking left, right and centre, making it go viral, sharing the video all over the place. What they don't see is the millions of working class people who don't give a fuck about Twitter, who don't give a fuck about Tommy Robinson either, but they're the same as him. They're working class people who feel abandoned on a fundamental level by the Labour Party. And and it's not just him. Look at this Paul fella, I don't know who he is, politics editor, HuffPost. Let's just listen anyway, because I think this is some good insight. If Boris Johnson wins this election, this could turn out to be the most striking image of the entire campaign. Yes, look at what's right in front of your eyes, Labour people. The left. Look at what's in front of you. I know you're authoritarian, and I know that the weak beta fucks that hang about with you will happily put he, him in their profile, or he, they for some reason, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean, to placate you. And I know that you think that makes your influence greater, but it's an illusion, man. And I know you've taken over the schools and you're filling as many kids' heads with as much bullshit as you can, but there's plenty of people who don't listen, who don't care. And you can ruin the film industry. You can make TV as shit as you want with these ridiculous, preachy social justice stories. But the reality is, there's a load of fucking construction workers that have made their own sign that says, "We love Boris." Look at the fucking state of these gruff bastards. And not only have they written "We love Boris," they are presenting it for a picture. They are smiling. Think about it. Think about who you have abandoned. Think about the fact that fucking Boris Johnson is getting support from these people. And they're not on fucking Twitter. They don't do YouGov polls. They don't give two fucks about all your bullshit. They don't care about any of the stuff I talk about. Jesus Christ, when I do talk to people, they haven't got a fucking clue what I'm on about. Not a clue. I live and breathe this bollocks. But that doesn't mean the vast majority of people do. They don't care. The left, and more specifically Labour, have completely abandoned the working class in this country. Completely. There's no, it's right here for you. And honestly, I would be very surprised if Labour didn't get an absolute rinsing in this election. And as far as I'm concerned, they fucking deserve it. They're just launching their thing now. I'm going to have to read it after the thing. Maybe we'll get to talk about it tonight. If not, I'll go through... now that they're actually coming out, I'm gonna go through on some of the broadcasts that I do. But ultimately for me, and I need to know if this made it into their actual manifesto, but at the Labour Party conference, they all cheered. They all cheered when it was announced that they're gonna do reparations. Now that might sound good or bad to you or whatever, but I actually looked into what that meant, what their model was. And it was the Glasgow model. It was the universities there, where they take other people's money other people's money, government's money, and then they give free education to people, not based on their lineage, not based on the history, not based on anything that you might charitably associate with reparations. Because sure, there's an argument for that. Of course there is. I might fall on the other side of it. I think it's nonsense. But there is an argument for it. You can't deny it. But no, what Labour want to do and what they are calling reparations is to give black and brown people free education based solely and specifically on the colour of their skin. That's it. That's the only test. So what Labour have decided is if you are white, you pay for your education. If you are non-white, you should get it for free. That is insane. That is white supremacy with a guilty conscience. They have forgotten where they come from. They've forgotten these people. I need to point that way, don't I? I'm going to have to switch these screens around at some point. So that, because for me, it's there. It's over here. But they have. And this is getting worse and worse. And people are only going to believe the bullshit for so long. And I cannot fucking wait to read the Labour Party manifesto to see if they've had the balls to actually be honest and put it in there. And if they have, I'm going to scream about it. Let's just go. Q400 said you talk a lot of sense, Graham. Thank you, man. I do appreciate it. Fat Belly has retracted their message. It's probably about my fucking VR anyway. Let's go back a little bit. King said, I'm just going to say King, it's true the Nazis made Fanta because they didn't have the supply lines to make Coke. Yeah, there was a certain ingredient that was missing, wasn't there? So they made Fanta. But, these things happen, don't they? The Nazis did a lot of medical advancements and weapon advancements that we all enjoy and, thrive off today. So there you go. Technology as well. Jesus, I'm not going to not drink Fanta just because of that. Paul says, I never thought I'd see the day that Owen Jones was calling for the kicking out of a black man. Yeah, well, he's a phenomenal hypocrite. I fucking hate Owen Jones. But like I said on the stream the other day, he is the bravest person that's in the Labour Party right now, which is sad. Sad and pathetic. Rasputin Ghost says that Islam is anti-LGBT. That would make Tommy and Muslims allies. No, no, I don't think he's anti-LGBT. Particularly, I don't know. I've never seen him say anything that's particularly. I mean, it depends. It depends what you're talking about, doesn't it? Jesus Christ, that's a whole deep show, is it? Because you can not have an issue with LGBT people. But you can have an issue with the movement around it. That's the camp I find myself in. I don't have the slightest issue whatsoever with trans people, but trans activists are a fucking horror show. Trans activists are so insane, they hate actual trans people. They call them true scum. People who've actually transitioned and are just comfortable living as the other gender. They hate them because it's too biological, it's too essential. They're just like... They hate trans people. The one and only trans hate crime that got to court in this country was against a trans woman. A trans woman was the defendant. And it was a what they call cis, just a normal woman, who took the trans woman to court. These people are insane. So no, I support LGBT people because I can't stand the activists. I can't fucking stand them. They infantilize them. I can't say that right now. Apparently, Bertrand Russell was a Nobel laureate and he wanted to kill us all. He also says that he would slap Owen Jones, but he doesn't punch girls. King says that didn't Obama get the Nobel Peace Prize? Yes, he did. Whilst also being the first only president who was at war for his entire presidency. Not only that, actually, I just so happen to have this up. I'll jump to it right now. Did you see this? AFP news agency here says AFP is withdrawing this story. Ooh, what happened? The author of the report has clarified that his figures do not represent the number of children currently in migration-related US detention. Okay, but the total number of children in migration-related detention in 2015 We will delete the story. Oh! Isn't 2015 relevant? You know, when Obama was president, when he was sat there with his Peace Prize. Isn't this relevant? How many kids were in camps at that point? You know, all the pictures that you've seen that were all from the Obama era. I had to break some poor bastard's heart the other day with that, because he was going on about how they're concentration camps, and it's like, no, they're fucking not. Don't be ridiculous. But AFP have deleted the story. You can't update it, can you? I mean, Jesus Christ, 2015 is still relevant. That fake statistic that Hayden repeats every fucking week about austerity killing 130,000 people, which is a false statistic, by the way. It doesn't have any basis in reality. It's a possibility, and it's probably true, but we don't know it's true. That's based off a 3-month period in 2015, and they looked at unusual deaths. It could have been any number of things, and they took that 3-month period and then extrapolated it out to the entirety of the Tory government. It's a fake statistic. It's fake news. It doesn't stop people. It's just an Owen Jones talking point. It was 120,000 people for a while. Then it became 130,000 people. And Aidan mentions it pretty much every fucking week, because that's how propaganda works. It gets said enough time and you just go, yeah, but that information is from 2015. And that's getting repeated by everyone ad nauseum. So why are we not talking about 100,000 children in migration-related US detention? A UN report. Why are we not talking about this? Hey? It doesn't fit the story, does it? It doesn't fit the Obama who was, you know, without tragedy, without issue. The worst thing he did was wear that beige suit. Do you remember? Yeah, he also put 100,000 kids in cages. He also created a system that encouraged human trafficking. If you crossed the border on your own, you were detained. If you crossed the border with a child, you were released and given a court date to come back. I can't remember, was it 40%? I can't remember the number. 40% did come back. They did. You know, respect to them, good for them and everything. But what they did is they incentivized human trafficking, because the way to be released at the border was to take a child with you. That child didn't necessarily have to be yours. Obama trying to do the right thing, which was a good thing to do. It came from a good place. Because locking families, you know, if I went out and broke the law right now and they arrested me and they went, right, your daughter's coming too, everyone would be up in arms, rightfully so, and they were at the time. So they separated kids. But the problem is, last time they did a DNA test on the people they apprehended, in a 1-month period, 1/3 of the kids were not related to the adults. 1/3 of the children, and we're talking hundreds of thousands, 1/3 of them had been kidnapped. Because we incentivized it. This is a problem. This is a huge problem. And not only that, Jesus Christ, why don't they just fucking report it, honestly? 11,000 kids passed that border unaccompanied in March this year. 11,000. Did they go to a centre? Yes, they did. You're damn right they did. What the fuck are you supposed to do with 11,000 kids? Just let them wander in the desert and die? They go in the centre whilst they look for homes for them. If these people actually fucking cared, they'd be queuing up to take the kids, but they're not. They just call it concentration camps and share their AOC memes about how brave she is, whilst AOC herself is blocking $3.5 billion that would have been humanitarian aid that was specifically earmarked to take care of the kids. That scumbag blocked $3.5 billion. And then has the fucking nerve to go on Instagram and talk about how bad it is. Or stand by an empty car park posing with a tearful face. Go fuck yourself. Your fucking narrative. Let's deal with reality. Is it good down there? No, it's shit. But it's the best of a bad situation. Because Obama made human trafficking phenomenally attractive. Something needs to be done. Before we move on, whoever is commenting on our videos as Joseph Goebbels, please can you stop? Please, can you stop taking everything I say out of context? Oh, William! Thank you so much. Much love from Scotland, he says, here via the RA show. I'm so glad to have you, man. Thank you so much for your super chat. It is much, much appreciated. You know what? I need to make that a bit bigger, though, because I can't see the thing. There we go. And apparently I'm fooling nobody, communist. Fuck off. Shut up. But yeah, please, whoever Joseph Goebbels is, stop doing it. Stop doing it. Right, before I boo you anyway, we are on tonight as far as I know. Oh, let me text Aidan actually, and I'll let you know before we go. H. Oh fuck, I've not done that website he's asked me to do. H, are we on tonight, mate? I'll let you know in a sec. Yeah, before we go, back to America, back to American conservatives, because that's kind of the theme of today's show. South Dakota. Governor Kristi Noem, governor of South Dakota, Republican, bless her face. She spent $500,000 on an ad campaign for meth. Oh, why don't we just get government out of this stuff, man? They can't do it. They can't even pick the bins up. They can't collect the trash. So why are we letting them spend $500,000 on an advertising campaign for meth? You could have funded a fucking safe house for a year to get people clean. Low pass-through rates. Yeah, if you've got a house to get people clean, and you've got like maybe a quarter coming out with positive results, that's a good place doing well. But it's going to do better than this. We're on it! Meth. I'm on it. Meth. We're on it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So good. So good. Such a phenomenal waste of money. So it's an anti-meth PSA campaign because, of course, what meth heads are doing right now is just watching the sort of TV. They're all on CNN, aren't they? They're just there at the bingo, fucked, just looking up and going, oh, yeah. I feel very supported by this vaguely ethnic-looking woman. Beautiful. Meth. I'm on it. Oh, bless your little face. You know, the way to stop people being on drugs is not necessarily to talk about the drugs themselves. It's you need something else. You need when I did homelessness work, the first thing I ever did, and it didn't always work. Nothing always works. The first thing I did was say, look, you're on disability. Your rent's paid. You get a certain amount a week. It wasn't off me. It was off the government. Right, your rent's paid. They owed me like £8 a week or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. It varies. There's always a service charge to cover the lighting and the TV license and things like that the government won't pay for. But it's fuck all. £8 a week. We used to get free food delivered, especially at the Salvation Army. Loads of food there. So I'd say, look, right now you're fucked. As far as the government's concerned, you're a lost cause. They're not looking to force you to work. They've written you off as a person, right? So you're sitting there right now and you are a smackhead, or you are an alcoholic, you are whatever, or you're a recovering whatever, right? However you label yourself, you need to get the fuck rid of that as soon as possible. Because if you are a recovering whatever, then very, very quickly, if that's all you've got, you just go back to being an alcoholic. You write your story. Everyone does it, man, and it takes about 5 beats before you're back in the game. And I know, because every fucker that sat in front of me had the same thing every time. Well, she left me, lost my job, my brother died, blah, blah. And once they get to 5, I had no choice. I had to get back on the booze. I had no choice. It's always the same fucking thing every fucking time. And I'd say, you need to start writing your other story. The story for why you succeeded. And it is not this bullshit. Like meth, we're here for you and all that. No. Go and volunteer. I don't give a fuck where. Whatever slight skill you've got, I'll phone them up. I'll tell them. I'll convince them to take you. What do you want to do? Where do you want to work? Anywhere. Doing anything. What, you want to train football? Right, we'll sort that out. I'm going to get you in somewhere. And obviously, because I've done the job for a long time, I'd know a football coaching place that was sympathetic to homeless people. In fact, I used to know a homeless fucking league. I'd know a place that taught kids that was also sympathetic as well. Because they had people that had been through the game themselves. Boom! Do you know what happens then? For just 1 or 2 hours a week that you're volunteering, that's all it takes. I promise you that. I know because I've been there and I did this myself to get myself out of the shit. I know it works. 100%. You're not a recovering alcoholic anymore. You're a football trainer. And then when you talk to people, you're not talking to them about how shit your life is, how fucked you are. You suddenly you're writing your own reality. Oh, I met someone today. I told him about training the kids, and we're hooking up, whatever, we're getting to play. You know, these things. What happens then is the beats that you have are the beats that meant that you ended up getting your own place, being a success, settling down. Because I tell you what, the last two are nearly always found a home, because that was my job, to find them somewhere to live. You find somewhere to live and there's always a big bump. There's always a bill they forgot about. They forgot to send the council tax forms off. There's always something. And before they know it, there's a fucking letter lands saying, we need 800 quid off you. And then, fuck this shit. Because they're not used to it. And I'm not saying that to talk down to them. I'm just saying that there's a lot of people in my industry who were just mums, basically. Oh, I'll do it for you. And they just fucking, all they ever did was hurt him. All they ever did. So the first beat, volunteer, somewhere, anywhere, anyone can do it. Doesn't matter even if you work full time, anyone can do it. For real, man. I say that to my daughter, man. I don't say it now, but I will do. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Right, whatever it is you want to do, at 16, 17, 18, you can pretty much turn up at that place and offer to work for free, and they'll do it. Do it 1 day a week. Work some shit job the other 4 or 5. Work Saturdays. Fuck it, work. I tell you what, it's better than going to uni for 3 or 4 years. You won't have any debt. And that 1 day a week that you work for nothing will turn into 2 days, covering expenses. And before you know it, they'll offer you a fucking job. I promise you that. Promise you. And that's how it goes, man. See, fuck off with this. Idiots. 500,000. Give me that 500,000, man. I could have run a house for 3 years on that. Well, properly. Serving hundreds of people. 500,000, you fucking tools. Absolute tools. Guys, I'm going to have to boogie anyway. Has he texted back yet? Maybe he's texted back to say, dude. No, he's not. I didn't check his website either. I'm going to have to do that in a minute. Let's check the comments before we boogie. And hey, guys, we did it. I went the whole show without forgetting that I was full screen. Because for some reason, no one ever tells me. If I'm like this and I start going, look at that. You've got to tell me. You've got to tell me. Because I forget that I'm full screen. Let's have a look. Rose of Dawn and her trans stupid YouTube shows the Rose of Dawn. I think I've heard of that one. I don't think I've watched it though. I think I subbed, but I've not watched it yet. Someone else has recommended it at some point. Fatboy's asking if Hayden got any stick in school for having HH as his initials. You'll have to ask him tonight. Send a super chat and he will answer for sure. Not now, later. When we are live. So he said that Epstein had a ranch on the border. I love the Epstein thing. I like the way they've arrested the guards now. As if that's going to make it go away. They're like, someone obviously went, right, shit, we need a fall guy here. We need a fall guy. Fuck them too, of course. They can't talk about the money that they were given. Because if they do, the whole family's going to be killed. The reason they took the money in the first place, which was for their family, would then be killed. So what would be the point of having the money? So they just have to keep their mouths shut and go, to 5-6 years or whatever for reckless abandonment or negligence or whatever. And all the while, it isn't going to die that Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself. He did not kill himself. But yeah, he had a ranch on the border. Would you rather the kids in detention or with traffickers? Dude, the thing about the thing about the border, which the American left and the British left never talk about, and it really fucks me off, is how bad it is there. Like, you know, these people that are crossing illegally have to pay thousands of dollars to gangsters to get over the border. It is already regulated by gangsters, by Mexican gangs. It is. They know who comes and goes. There's rules. There's checks. It's already regulated. You know, I know that sort of sort of Californians are like, you know, it's just an imaginary line, man. Love is love. You're welcome here, and it's like you've no idea what these fuckers are going through. Build a fucking wall. Build a fucking wall and put it on so that the actual American government can regulate instead. And you know what? Take the thousands of dollars that the illegal immigrants are spending and put it through legally. You want to move here? All right, I tell you what, 1 year visa, $1,000. Work visa, there you go. We'll see how it goes. Keep your nose clean. The second year is $500. Keep your nose clean. The third year is $500. Bitch, if you can make it to 5 years, paying for your work visa without a single incident, you can fucking stay. Please do. Please do. Immigration can be phenomenal if you do it properly. But as it is at the moment, all that money, crazy, crazy money. How many, what was it, 1 in 3 women get raped crossing the border? Because you know that's how they're getting across. They don't have that money. Some of them are literally escaping. Some of them are just desperate for their unborn child to not have the life that they've had. So they will let some not gringos, is it? That's the white guys, is it? I don't know my lingo. They'll let some big dirty fuckers rape them so that they can then wander across the desert and hopefully survive. Fuck that shit, man. Need to put a stop to it. It's nonsense. Absolute nonsense. There's no reason for it to exist. Build the wall, man. Do it, 100%. But that doesn't mean stop immigration. God, no. America takes more than anyone. And they should probably continue to do so. They've got the room, and their economy is linked to it in a way that's inseparable right now. Sony VR, fuck off. Oh, Deliveroo. I need food. I'm really hungry. So he said Graham is on it. Being busy keeps the demons at bay. Yeah, it's true, man. It's true. Everything I said to you there. Yeah, right, okay. There's certain things that are opinion. Everything I just said about the wall was my opinion. It might be true. It might not be true. I mean, the stuff about the gangs taking thousands of dollars, raping and trafficking children in the tens of thousands per month. Why does nobody care about this, by the way? Tens of thousands of kids. That's fact. But my opinion in terms of how to deal with it, that's pure opinion. In terms of the homelessness stuff, that's also my opinion, but it's my professional opinion. I used to get paid a shit wage to do that, and I saw the results, and I was my team that had 15, my positive move on rate, which is when someone moves out in a good way, was equal to everybody else. Everybody else. Because I didn't mother them. I didn't fucking... They got a form in. I'd say, do it then. They'd come waving at me like I was a fucking butler. I got this form. I'm like, do you not know how to write your name? Go and write your fucking name. Go and fill it in and talk to me about what you're struggling with. I'm here to support you. Not fucking do it for you. I'm screwing you for life if I do that. Teach a man to fish and all that. But no, it's right. Natalie said, is Andrew the fall guy for HR? Why hasn't Charles gotten anything for his bromance with Seville? This is Prince Andrew. If Prince Andrew wasn't lying, he would already be on a plane getting himself to America and helping law enforcement there as much as humanly possible with them catching the other paedophiles. If Andrew is genuinely 100% innocent, even if he was guilty, he could go to America and not be arrested. There can be conversations beforehand to say, my immunity is guaranteed. Is that understood? Yes, Your Highness, that is understood. Okay, I'll be in DC tomorrow night. See you then. And I'm going to give you names, numbers, addresses, everything that I can do to close down this paedophile ring. But something tells me Prince Andrew is not going to be getting on that plane anytime soon. In fact, hasn't he just announced that he's going to retract from public life? Yeah, all right, retract from public life and go to America and help with the investigation. This dude was flying paedophiles all over the planet and abducting children to rape. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. It's nice that you went on BBC and had that little weird interview about sweating and all that. But if I found out that a friend of mine that I'd spent a lot of time with was doing the things that Epstein apparently did, you best believe I'd be on the fucking phone and saying, how can I help? Because I'm innocent. I wasn't involved. Look at me getting all defensive. This is like, I've not even got it in my mind. I'm already like, you know, I'm fucking useless with that. Fat Belly said charges serving a life term with that hag Camilla. Oh, hey, have some respect. His wife died. Maybe Camilla is Jimmy Savile. Thank you. Retract his pension too, Diana or Camilla. If you are asking in terms of sex, I don't know, man. See, Diana's obviously got the physical, you know, she's edging ahead, but I reckon Camilla's a bit of a goer in the old bedroom. That's my theory. That's my hypothesis. I don't know this. But I reckon Camilla, because you got to think, Aiden's not, I'm just going to assume we're on tonight. Guys, I'm going to have to boogie. I love you. Oh, it's good to be back again. And hopefully you couldn't hear the builders and stuff, although I'm sure they just heard every word that I said because they've gone quiet. Guys, I'll see you in a bit. I fucking love you. I'll see you later.